Obscura Dramatica.
I'm Elise Young, and you're in grave danger.
What? Where am I?
On a slab, in a morgue. And if we don't get you out right now, you'll be one more corpse in their collection. Come on.
Oh, my head.
Worry about your head later. Get up, on your feet.
My legs. Why can't I move them?
They gave you some kind of paralyzing agent. At first, I thought you were dead.
Oh, that sounds nice.
No, don't go back to sleep. Stand up!
Just a few more minutes.
No, they'll be coming. We have to go. Stand up.
Obscura Dramatica presents Borrowed Lives by David Bareford, starring Lauren Rogers as Elise.
Episode 5, A Second Death.
Jesse, you don't understand how influential Charles has become.
I will deal with Charles, Michael.
How? He runs the New Eden in Chandler's stead. He won't let you use it to steal away his promised envelope.
I don't need the sacred chamber.
Oh, you expect Honoré to let you do a borrowing at the Palmer? Or do you somehow imagine she'll come here?
I don't need Honoré's permission, or even her presence.
Have you lost your mind? No Honoré, no ritual.
I don't need a ritual.
Then why the hell are you here? You barge in shouting that Laura must have a new envelope and—
Mordaunt! That's not Laura out there.
What are you saying?
I'm saying the Shears of Atropos didn't try to kill Laura. They succeeded.
Then who's in Penelope?
Someone who claims to have jumped without a ritual.
No. And awakened?
I think so. But she doesn't seem to know it or even understand her own powers.
Does Honoré know?
I told her I met a new borrower who stole Laura's envelope, but I didn't mention she might be awakened.
Why would you keep that a secret?
Because I'm not sure it's true. This girl seems entirely unaware of her gift.
So, what are you going to do?
Test her.
How?
Simple. If we open her envelope, we'll see if she comes back.
And if she isn't an awakened after all?
Then I'll be rid of the thief who stole Laura, and Charles Michael gets 2 options to pick from.
Everybody wins.
All right, Laura. I've convinced Mr. Laura?
Where is she? Where did she go?
I don't know.
Wait. That drawer was open before. She's not here. She's stolen the envelope.
Why would she? She knew she was getting the girl anyway. Why take a corpse?
She wasn't a corpse. That girl wasn't dead. I keep them sedated until we're ready for them. What do you know about this person you brought in?
Very little. Not enough, it seems.
She could be working for Atropos.
Impossible.
Is it? How do you know she didn't kill Laura in the first place? Then she takes Laura's body.
Wait. Who are those?
Shh.
There's no
Stay
time.
still.
We need to get her back.
We have to find her first.
Where does this hallway lead?
Back into the hospital.
She can't have gone that way, not dragging a body.
She must have headed for the street. Come on.
I'm going to kill them both. Do you have a gun here?
Why would I have a gun? Everyone that comes here is already dead.
Why are you lying on me?
Shh.
Why is it dark?
Because we're in a cadaver drawer to
A cadaver?
hide from...
Oh! Ow!
Yes, a cadaver drawer with a very low ceiling. But be grateful I moved us to a different one, or they'd have found us just now.
Who's they?
Men who want to kill you. So we have to get out of here before they get back. Can you move, miss?
Browning. Alexandra Browning.
I'm Elise. May I call you Alexandra?
I'm lying underneath you in just my shift, hiding in a drawer made for corpses. I think we can forgo some formalities.
Good point. I think they're gone. Let's have a look. It's clear. Come on. Alex still could barely walk, so with her arm around my shoulders, I half-carried, half-dragged her out of the wide hallway. It led to a row of 6 iron doors on one side, labeled simply A, B, C, and so on. We peeked into the first. The door was on the narrow end of a long rectangular room. A row of beds lined each side wall, with their footboards forming a narrow walkway down the center. Most of the beds had people lying in them. There was a door at the far end of the room, but between it and us, a nurse sat on the edge of the bed, bathing a man's forehead with a cloth. She would surely stop us if we simply walked in.
Try the next one.
Doors B and C revealed 2 more patient wards, almost identical to the first. But C had fewer patients and no nurses in sight. I brought Alex in and laid her on the first bed we came to.
No, we can't stop. Have to keep going.
I can't carry you the whole way out. I'm gonna look for a wheelchair or something. Here, get under the blanket and pretend you're a patient. Turn your face to the pillows so they can't see you so easy. I'll be back soon.
Elise.
What?
Find me a dress, too, and some shoes.
I made my way down the ward between the rows of beds, ignoring the puzzled looks and supplications from a few of the patients. At the far end of the ward, I found a side room, labeled Ward C, Ready Room, and behind it was a kind of dressing area, where nurses must change out of their street clothes and prepare for their duties. I was suddenly aware how out of place my silk gown was in a hospital, and how quickly I could be spotted. Finding a wardrobe that held several dresses of plain grey cotton, I quickly stepped out of my gown and slipped into one of these nurses' uniforms, finding it a bit big at the waist, but good enough for now. I added a white apron and a linen cap to complete the disguise. I was estimating which dress would best fit Alexandra when...
You! Come with... Who are you?
Oh, Penelope? Bowman. I'm new.
Well, come quickly. Dr. Sterling needs every available hand. A runaway carriage accident on 16th Street not half an hour ago. Female brought in dead. Male presents with broken ribs and a crushed left arm where the wheel ran over him.
Oh, merciful Lord!
Dr. Sterling's prepping a transhumeral amputation. I'll need you to apply the soporific sponge and monitor his pulse.
But I've never done that. I don't know.
I'll talk you through it. Here we go.
Harriet, help me hold him. I can't get the damn ligature on.
Yes, doctor.
We ran into a room of nearly blinding brightness. Gas lamps on every wall lit up shelves full of bottles and fierce metal instruments. 2 wooden tables stood in the center. On the near one, a woman's body lay face up, motionless and covered with a white sheet. On the other was a scene of absolute horror I shall never forget till my dying day. A man in his 30s, wearing fine trousers and a single black shoe, lay on his back and twisted and writhed in agony. Standing above him, an older doctor was trying to tighten a thin leather strap on the man's bicep just below the armpit, but he was hampered by the bright red blood that slicked his hands, soaked the man's shirt, pooled beneath his mangled arm, and dripped off the table. The veteran nurse who had brought me did not hesitate for a moment. She rushed forward and threw her whole body across the man's torso to keep him from thrashing. I'm sorry to say I froze. The ghastly sight, the sound of the man's pain, the iron smell of blood, so much blood. Then I realized the doctor was saying something, talking to me.
You! Yes, you! Now!
The ether, Penelope. There, second shelf, brown bottle.
Yes.
The sponges are in the box beside the bottle. Get a sponge, pour an ounce or 2 into it to wet it.
Ligature applied.
Move quickly, but do not rush, Penelope.
How could she be so calm when a man was literally dying underneath her? I hastily pulled the cork and wet the sponge. The ether fumes burned my nostrils.
Now, come over to his head and hold it firmly over his nose and mouth. Keep it on! Don't let him shake it off.
Good girl, you've got him. Harriet, get me a scalpel, a liston knife, and prep a number 12 saw.
Yes, doctor. Penelope, you may remove the sponge now.
Very well, ladies. Here we go. Scalpel.
Scalpel.
You see, Penelope, is it? I'm going to sever the bone about 3 inches above the visible damage to make sure we get blood vessels and nerves that are not crushed. But I'm starting the epidermal incision down here, as low in the antecubital region as possible. Like so. Hattie, take forceps and hold that skin back. Good.
Nurse Bowman, monitor the patient's heart rate. 2 fingers, just there, over the carotid artery.
Yes, all right.
Now then, Liston knife.
Liston knife.
Then for the muscles. A few well-placed strokes. And there's our humerus.
Nicely done, Doctor.
Thank you. Take this and hand me the bone saw.
Oh, he's waking up!
More ether.
Oh, Doctor!
I see it. Another ligature. Now.
A sudden gout of blood had spurted up from the man's arm, painting the nurse's white apron with a line of crimson. Then another and another, pulsing with his heartbeat, splashing the doctor's face and even arcing over his shoulder. I tried to wet the ether sponge again, spilling some of the liquid in my haste, but slamming the sponge back onto his face.
Almost there. Hold him fast.
He's convulsing!
Oh, I can't feel his pulse!
He's not taking the ether well!
Won't matter a damn if I can't stop this bleed.
Move, Penelope!
The nurse pushed past me to maneuver to a better position, and I backed away, happy to get some distance from the horrific scene. My breath came labored, as though I'd been running, and my linen cap was damp with sweat.
We're losing him!
Forceps. Clamp it off and suture.
I've got the artery.
Where's that bone saw?
Suddenly, the sounds of the room seemed to change and grow distant, the way a locomotive sounds at the far end of a long tunnel. Even the lights seemed to grow dim and shadowy.
Suturing?
Come on. Got it. Get this off the table.
He's not breathing.
Sylvester method. Manipulate the right arm. I'll work the left.
Ready.
Arms up and across the chest. Up and across. Up.
And then, it happened.
Doctor! He's gone.
Damn it. Time of death, 9:22 p.m.
Above the table, above the nurse and the sweating, blood-spattered doctor, I saw a shimmer of green, hazy and indistinct at first, then coalescing into the shape of a man. His face was contorted, etched with the same shock and fear that had been on it when he died. He seemed to gasp, silently, a sound I felt more than heard, a desperate, reflexive action that echoed the last breath he couldn't take. He was a soul utterly lost, a mournful wisp, hanging like smoke above a snuffed candle, confused and profoundly alone. An immense wave of injustice crashed over me. This senseless death, the cause as stupid as a runaway carriage, cutting a young life so short. An overwhelming instinct welled up within me, a primal urge to fix this tragedy, driving me to desperate, reckless action. I focused my will, reaching out with something beyond hands. I tried to guide, to force that bewildered soul to the nearest envelope I could find, the sheeted form of the accident victim behind me. The terrible connection flared, and for a horrifying instant it was me inside the woman from the carriage accident. And in that moment I felt her death as if it were my own. I felt the agonizing jolt, the sudden crash of the impact, how her neck bones shattered with her force. Her spine, it was snapped in two. She wasn't whole. Then the body itself reacted, with a choked, inhuman sound. The woman on the table lurched violently upward, pitching halfway off the edge like a broken puppet. Her head lolled at an impossible angle. Her limp limbs flailed, and with a sickening thump, she tumbled to the floor, a dead weight.
What in God's name?
The charge nurse screamed, but for me, the sounds of her terror vanished, swallowed up by a horrifying, psychical shriek as the man's spirit, trapped in that broken vessel, unraveled. It wasn't just gone. His soul was unmade. I fled the room on wobbly legs.
There you are. Where have you been? I've been lying here for... Elise? Are you all right?
Here's a dress. It should fit.
Oh, a nurse's uniform. Brilliant. And these boots, oh, they're actually quite fetching. Is that blood on your apron?
Oh, yes. I was assisting a surgery.
You... what? I think you're taking this disguise a bit too far. That was a joke.
Oh, sorry.
Are you all right?
Not really.
Very well. You saved me. Let me take care of you. Here, take my arm. We're getting out of here.
It was fortunate that Alexandra's legs had recovered their strength, for my own still felt weak, and I clung to her arm as we made our way through the hospital. No one stopped us, and soon we found the entrance and walked out into the warm night air.
Where are we? What part of the city?
A little ways from downtown. South, I think.
Do you live nearby?
I don't live in Chicago at all. I was at the Palmer House.
Then let's get you back there.
No, I can't. Jesse, one of the men back in the morgue, he would find me there, and I can't.
All right. But we simply can't wander the streets. I have a hotel room as well. Will you come to mine?
I wanted to trust Alex, yet had I not seen the tattoo on her wrist? She was one of the Shears of Atropos, the strange cult trying to hunt down and kill the borrowers. How long before she turned on me? But I was so tired. Yes, all right. Is it far?
Well, as you may discern from my accent, I'm not from Chicago either. The hotel is where Clark Street intersects with Wisconsin. Where is that from here?
I don't know.
And this does not seem to be the most savoury neighbourhood for two women to be walking unescorted at night. Should we hire a hackney carriage?
A what? You mean a cab?
Yes, obviously.
Oh, I don't have any money to pay for it.
Nor do I.
Then how?
One needs merely to be resourceful, and to find a boy driving who's about our age.
Alex let at least 3 cabs pass us by, claiming the drivers to be too old or not the right sort. At last a carriage came by, driven by a young man about 20, with a pleasant face framed by a patchy beard he was clearly trying to grow out.
Yes, he will do nicely. Driver, over here.
Where to, ladies?
My, what an absolute handsome horse you have. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, he's a beaut. I call him Cincinnati, like President Grant's back in the war.
Cincinnati. And what's your name?
Me? Eddie. Edward.
Edward. A strong name.
I suppose.
Listen, Edward, my friend and I...
Hey, you're from England, ain't you?
Indeed, how very clever of you to notice. And as I'm sure you can also see, we are nurses.
I wondered why you was in the same dress.
As perceptive as you are handsome.
Well.
But you see, Edward, after a long shift caring for the sick and injured, my friend and I naively accepted an invitation to step out with 2 gentlemen who turned out not to be gentlemen after all. We had to abruptly flee our engagement, and in doing so, left our reticules behind.
You, lost your purses?
Yes, and consequently we have no coinage anywhere about our persons. But we must get back to our lodgings, a hotel near Clark and Wisconsin Street. Is that a great distance from here?
Oh, about 4-5 miles.
Oh my, so far.
Ain't too bad. Maybe an hour and a half on foot.
Unescorted? At this hour? And in these shoes? We were hoping you could drive us.
But you ain't got no fare.
True, but I was wondering if you might accept an osculatory payment.
An oscu what now?
A kiss.
A ride for a kiss.
Mm-hmm. A good one.
But there's 2 of you.
What? No!
Perhaps I'll kiss you twice then. What do you say?
Well, climb aboard, ladies. Wisconsin and Clark, you said?
Yes, the New Eden Hotel.
You got it. Get up there, Cincy. Yeah!
We're going where?
The New Eden...
I heard you. Oh, out of hundreds of hotels in Chicago, how could you possibly have picked the New Eden?
A co-worker recommended it. What's wrong?
Wrong? If we go to that hotel, they'll kill you.
No, that's absurd.
And try to kill me too, maybe.
Why in heaven's name would they...
You don't know?
Know what?
The owner of the New Eden Hotel, Charles Michael, is not a good person.
No, Elise, I met the owner, a sweet, plump old widow, Mrs. Stevens. She found me a room where they were otherwise full up.
A room on the 4th floor?
How could you possibly know that?
Because Mrs. Stevens, or whatever Charles Michael is calling himself, he's a borrower.
I don't know what that is.
At that, I seized her right hand and pushed up her cuff to expose the pair of sheep shoes drawn on her wrist. What is this tattoo, then?
My family is in the wool trade.
That's a lie. You're one of the shears of Atropos.
What do you know of Atropos?
I'm a borrower too, Alex.
What?
That's why I was in the morgue. Jessie and I were shopping for envelopes.
I see. Then why did you rescue me?
Because no one deserves to lose their own body.
Says the person who sits wearing someone else's skin.
I know. We sat the rest of the trip in awkward silence. Friends made enemies by revealed information. After we pulled up at the hotel, Alexandra made her osculatory payment, 2 or 3 kisses of embarrassing duration, and Eddie the driver rolled on, leaving us standing across the street from the New Eden.
I wish I could at least go and get my things. Clothes, luggage.
I lost mine here too.
What? What do you mean?
How did you end up in the morgue? What do you remember?
Nothing. I went to sleep in my room and I woke up in that drawer with you standing over me.
That's the same thing that happened to me. Well, not the morgue. I stayed here, on the 4th floor like you, but I woke up in someone else's body.
Someone you didn't choose?
I didn't choose anything. I just came here looking for my brother Henrik. I didn't know about the borrowers, or Atropos, or any of it until I stayed in that hotel.
Listen, Elise, or whatever your name is.
It is Elise. I told you the truth. I'm Elise DeYoung from Goshen, Indiana. Not Penelope Bowman, or Jacob Burrows, or Cassandra Carter, or Mary Sullivan.
You've been all those people?
It's been a strange month.
Why would you change so often?
Because your Atropos friends keep killing me.
Keep killing you?
Yes, and every time I get thrown into someone that's just died nearby and take over their body and I can't stop it.
Elise, can you see the souls of the dying? Interact with them?
That's what happened at the hospital.
Oh my god. You're one of the awakened.
That's what Jessie called me. And I don't know what it means.
It means the Society of Atropos doesn't want to kill you at all.
Tell that to your friend Mr. Kingston.
I shall indeed.
Quick, turn away. Start walking.
What? Why?
The man getting down from that carriage. That's Jessie. He took me to the morgue. He's from the Broken Hourglass, and if he sees me, he'll... Oh, I don't know what he'll do.
What's he doing here?
Probably came to tell Charles, or Mrs. Stevens, that her order has escaped.
Her order?
She was planning on borrowing you.
I would consider that theft, actually.
Believe me, I know the feeling. But what do we do now? Where do we go?
From here, I know a place. It's not terribly close, 2 miles or more, but we can stay there and we'll be safe.
She led me north from the hotel, along the edge of Lincoln Park, following Clark Street out of the city to Lakeview, where an hour's walk brought us to Graceland Cemetery. We're going in there?
I know it's odd, wandering into a cemetery, especially near midnight, but Atropos has a safe room here.
At the mausoleum that looks like a little Greek temple, isn't it?
You know?
True enough, I'd come full circle. Alex led me to the exact spot where I'd watched the Shears of Atropos hold their secluded meeting. Was that only this morning? When I was Jacob Burrows, recently escaped from the asylum? How could my life and my fortune change so much in less than 24 hours?
Here, on the far side. It looks like a blank stone wall between these columns, but watch. Pull that left fleur-de-lis down and...
A door.
And a place to rest. There should be lanterns and matches on the shelf.
Inside the little mausoleum was a windowless room, only big enough for 2 cots of the kind soldiers use, with rolled mattresses and folded bedding set upon them. There was barely enough room between the cots to walk, and only a little more space available near the door. A few shelves held tinned food, bottles of water, and a canvas satchel painted with a red cross on a white field. As I lit the lantern, Alex closed us in.
And see, this bar allows us to lock it from the inside. No surprises.
Why are you doing this? Helping me? When you know I'm a... whatever I am.
You said before. No one deserves to have their body stolen from them. On that, we share common ground. I'll try and get some sleep. It's been something of a day.
I doubt it was 5 minutes after my head hit the pillow that I fell into a deep, dreamless sleep. Without a timepiece and in a windowless chamber, it was impossible to know how long I slept. But I awoke to Alex's hand on my shoulder. What time is it?
Shh, voices.
What do you mean she's missing?
We scheduled to meet on Friday evening. She missed the appointment.
When did you see her last?
Just after Wednesday night, when Marcus brought her to meet everyone. I helped her hail a carriage.
Where was she going?
A hotel, I believe. She'd only gotten off the train that morning.
Where was she staying?
She didn't say. Somewhere south of
It's
here.
all right. I think they're from the Society of Atropos.
Oh, one of them's Mr. Kingston. I'm not sure he likes me. He's already killed me twice.
It's all right. If you're still alive, it means you're definitely an awakened, and that changes everything. And the other voice is a Shears agent too. His name is John.
John? John Prodigal? But Alex had already thrown the bolt and opened the door, stepping out into the bright morning sunlight.
Miss Browning.
There you are. Thank the goddess.
I have someone with me.
I stepped out, blinking into the light. There, before me, stood the tall and hawk-nosed Mr. Kingston. My stomach clenched as I fought the urge to run, but I held my ground.
Who is she?
Mr. Kingston, Mr. Prodigal, this is Elise.
I looked at the other man, the smaller and younger of the two. Then my breath caught in my throat, for I had long known the face stare back at me. It was my brother, Henrik!
If you're enjoying Borrowed Lives, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. And if you would, please take a moment to rate, review, and most importantly, to tell someone else about the show. It helps our work get heard by others, which helps us engage more artists and to create more content. And speaking of artists,
Episode 5, A Second Death, was directed and written by David Bareford, produced by Roger Bazinet and Fawzy Simon, and featured the voice talents of Lauren Rogers as Elise, Ryan Bond as Jesse, John Viniilass as Mordaunt, Sarah Feely as Alexandra, Peter Nye as Eddie, Marianne Bowman as Charge Nurse, Michael Hagedorn as Doctor, Fawzy Simon as Kingston, Will Walker as Prodigal, and David Bareford as the Thirsty Patient.
That man! He's a borrower!
This has been a presentation of Obscura Dramatica.